What do you do when life derails you from your writing project? You have a major illness. You get a promotion. You get assigned an international project that requires your travel around the globe. And when you're home, working around the clock to be working with the other regions of the world in different time zones. You have a death in the family and you're managing the estate. Any of these things and many other things, major life events, work, health, family events, can derail a project or cause you to need to hit pause on a project. So what do you do if that happens? Like, what is your strategy? I can tell you that the examples I just said have all happened to me within the span of 6 months. And I had to abandon ship on 2 screenplays that I had in process while I was a senior VP of a marketing and research department working on a global project and facing a major, very mystery illness. So I certainly understand the derailment, and I've learned from that, and I've changed my projects and my project management from that time period, which was about 12 years ago now. At the time, if I knew now what I wish I would have known then, here's what I wish I would have done. I wish I would have, had I had the capacity before pushing the project away. I think what often happens is these things kind of creep in, or one thing happens and we maybe tell ourselves, oh, we can still keep it up, it'll just be slower or whatever. So I wish what I have done, I wish what I had done at the time is check in with my outline of the project, leave myself really good notes so that I was aware of where I left off on the project, and put whatever I could into the outline for finishing the project, meaning having a really, really complete outline so that when I came back, I look at it as turning a GPS on and off on a big cross-country trip. So it's okay if you generally know you're driving from LA to Chicago. Maybe you can probably get there, but there are different routes you can take. So and if you stop along the way and get derailed, like say you get your international project, or you have to go to the hospital, or something happens, you decide to stay, when you get back on the road, you might not be able to do the trip from memory of what you thought the route was. So leaving yourself really good notes. I wish I would have left myself a really, really strong outline of how I plan to write the rest of the script. And in retrospect, I may have been winging it on at least one of them, so I may not have had really a good plan to begin with. And I know I didn't have it written down, so if I had it in my head, I did not have it on paper. So I would have a plan on paper. I would leave myself really good notes and directions for where to pick up. Even stuff like, hey, KP, you feel good about, the first act of the project or the first third of the project, and you weren't sure about what you're going to do at the midpoint or what the lost point of the story is going to be. So you're going to have to, when you come back, you'll have to figure that out. The protagonist's A story is coming along good. The B story is kind of and the C story is also coming along good. So that's what's working in the project now. So that if I pick it up three months later, after I've traveled around the world a couple of times, dealt with an estate, a family estate, and hopefully was in a better place with my health, I could pick up and be like, okay, great, here's where I am, and I can pick it up again. Unfortunately, what happened to me in these projects is I ended up, as I said, abandoning 2 of them. But fast forwarding to later, which is now in my career, I know how to make the plan and make the plan in advance. I know where to spend my time, where to allocate my time on a project, so that if a major life incident comes along, or I call it shiny object, a different project comes along, or something takes my attention away, it's like a book. I can open it back up, or it's like that GPS. I can turn it back on and be like, oh, yay, here's that story that I love so much, and here's where I can pick up. I'm not like, I don't know, do we have any snacks in the cooler, or what's happening on this road trip? I know exactly where I'm at, and I can pick up, refresh my memory, and get back into it as I meant to do. hopefully that information gives you some insight and helps you make some decisions for if or when you should ever have to put a project aside for a short time.